আচ্ছা, ফার্স্ট যেটা চাই সেটা সেলসফোর্স ডট এই ট্রেলহেড ডট সেলসফোর্স ডট কম, এইটাতে গিয়ে তোমাকে যেটা করতে হবে দুজনকেই, যদি তোমাকে যেটা করতে হবে সেটা হচ্ছে তোমার সাইন আপ করতে হবে একটা, ঠিক আছে? সাইন আপ করে তোমার এটা একটা অ্যাক্সেস বানিয়ে নিতে হবে যাতে তুমি ট্রেল হেডে ঢুকতে পারো। কেন ট্রেল হেডের ওপরেই আমরা কোর্সটা পুরো কমপ্লিট করব, এবং আমরা যেটা ক্লাসে আমরা আলোচনা করব সেই ক্লাসের ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ডে পড়াশোনার মেটেরিয়ালটা পুরোটা ট্রেল হেডই থাকে। ট্রেল হেডটা অফিসিয়ালি সেলসফোর্সের নিজস্ব ট্রেনিং মেটেরিয়াল, এবং সেটা দিয়েই আমরা আমরা ইউজ করবো, কোনো হাবিজাবি অন্য কোনো মেটেরিয়ালে যাওয়ার দরকার নেই। ঠিক আছে, এইখানে যদি আমি সার্চ করি বং বং দিয়ে, তাহলে দেখবে বং বং অ্যাডমিনিস্ট্রেটর ট্রেল বলে একটা ট্রেল আছে। এই ট্রেলটা আমি পাঠিয়ে দিচ্ছি ইনফ্যাক্ট ওয়েবে, দ্য গ্রুপ। চাপো। এইটা হচ্ছে লিঙ্কটা, এই লিঙ্কটা কমপ্লিট করো। এটা হচ্ছে দিস ইজ সামথিং হুইচ উই ওয়ান্ট এভরিবডি টু ফিনিশ। ঠিক আছে, এটার মধ্যে তিনটে ইন্টারনাল ট্রেল আছে। একটা হচ্ছে অ্যাডমিন বিগিনার, একটা অ্যাডমিন ইন্টারমিডিয়েট, অ্যাডমিন অ্যাডভান্স, আর লাস্টে একটা সার্টিফিকেশন প্রিপেয়ারিং ছোট্ট মডিউল আছে। প্রত্যেকটা ট্রেলের মধ্যে ঢুকে অনেক মডিউল আছে। মডিউলটা মানে বলা যেতে পারে চ্যাপ্টার। ঠিক আছে, তো এই চ্যাপ্টারের মধ্যে বিভিন্ন পেজেস আছে, এক একটা করে পেজ পড়তে হবে, এবং কিছু কিছু জায়গায় কুইজ আছে, আর কিছু কিছু জায়গায় হ্যান্ডস অন আছে, সেটা প্র্যাকটিস করতে হবে। এই কোনো রকম ট্রেল হেড করতে যদি কোনো রকম অসুবিধা হয়, তাহলে গো ইনটু দিস হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ গ্রুপ। এই হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ গ্রুপে দুটো মেন্টার অলরেডি অ্যাড করা আছে। এই যে অংশিতা, এ হচ্ছে আমাদের মেন্টার। এ বেসিক্যালি ইজ ইউর পয়েন্ট অফ কন্ট্যাক্ট, সো ইউ ক্যান রিচ আউট টু হার, ডাইরেক্টলি ফোনও করতে পারো, আর নাহলে এখানে ইউ ক্যান পোস্ট অলসো যে কি প্রবলেম ফেস করছো, ওই নর্মালি মোস্ট অফ দ্য টাইম রিপ্লাই করে দেবে। ইনফ্যাক্ট দুটো মেন্টার আছে আমাদের, রাকেশ আর অংশিতা, দুজনই এই গ্রুপে পার্ট। তো ইউ ক্যান ওদের টাইম নিয়ে ওদের সাথে বসে যে কোনো দিন, যে কোনো সময় তোমার যেদিকে সুবিধা হচ্ছে এবং ওদের যেদিন সুবিধা হচ্ছে, সেই অনুপাতে ইউ ক্যান সিট টুগেদার অ্যান্ড গেট ইউর সেলফ, মানে এই এই সেলফ ট্রেনিং এর মধ্যে কোনো জায়গায় আটকে গেলে গেট দেয়ার হেল্প। ঠিক আছে, আর যদি ইন কেস কোনো অসুবিধা হয় তাহলে ইন দ্যাট কেস ওরা তখন আমাকে ডেলিগেট করবে। ইউজুয়ালি হয় না, ওতে এখনো পর্যন্ত 26টা আমাদের গ্রুপ চলে গেছে, সব রকম প্রবলেম ওরাই সলভ করে দিতে পারবে। ঠিক আছে, তাহলে আমরা ক্লাসে করবোটা কি? আমরা ক্লাসে আলোচনা করব দুটো জিনিস। সেলসফোর্স যখন শিখতে বসেছি, দুটো জিনিস খুব ইম্পর্টেন্ট। একটা হচ্ছে কিভাবে করছি কিছু জিনিস, তাই তো, সেটাকে হাউ পার্ট বলা হবে। হাউ হাউ শুড আই ডু দ্য থিংস, এই হাউ পার্টটাকে এই ট্রেল হেডের থ্রু দিয়ে শিখতে হবে। হাউ ওখানে বলে দেওয়া আছে, এখানে ক্লিক করো, ওখানে ক্লিক করো, এইভাবে করো, এইভাবে করো, ওইভাবে করো। হাউ পার্টটা একটু এগিয়ে থাকতে হবে বিফোর ইউ কাম টু দ্য ক্লাস। ঠিক আছে, হাউ পার্টটা নিজেকেই একটু ঘেঁটে শিখে নিতে হবে। হাউ পার্টটা নিয়ে আমরা ক্লাসে ডিসকাস করব। ঠিক আছে, কারণ কি এটা খুব ইজি, স্টেপ বাই স্টেপ প্রসেস, গুগলেও আছে, ট্রেলেডেও আছে। হ্যাঁ, না কোনো টিউটোরিয়াল নেই যেখানে হাউ পার্টটা ডেসক্রাইব করা নেই। তোমার ব্লগ দেখলেও বুঝে যাবে হাউ ক্যান আই ডু দ্য থিংস। ঠিক আছে, হাউ নিয়ে ডিসকাস করার কোনো দরকার নেই, এখন পৃথিবীতে চ্যাট জিপিটি আসছে, তো হাউ সবাই বলে দেবে। ওয়াইটা বলার মতো লোক নেই, যে কারণেই তোমরা এত টাকা পেমেন্ট করে এরকম একটা ক্লাস করছো, যেখানে এক্সপিরিয়েন্স পিপল রা বসে আছে, যারা বলছে ওয়াই অ্যান্ড হোয়াট, এই দুটোর অ্যান্সার দিতে পারছে। এগুলো না কোনো ট্রেল হেড, না কোনো অন্য কোনো মানে ট্রেনিং মেটেরিয়ালসে কভার হবে ওয়াই পার্টটা। কেন কি একটা জিনিস করার অনেক রকম টেকনিক হতে পারে, আছেও। তাহলে আমি কোন টেকনিকটা ইউজ করব, কখন কোন সময় কোনটা আমি ব্যবহার করব, করার সময় সেইটা একমাত্র এক্সপিরিয়েন্স থেকে আসে এবং সাউন্ড লজিক্যাল রিজনস থেকে আসে এবং আর্কিটেকচারাল এক্সপিরিয়েন্স থেকে আসে। সেটা একটা সিনিয়র লোক যে বহু বছর কাজ করেছে ইনটু দ্য টেকনোলজি, সে ছাড়া এটা বলার মতন খুব রিয়েলি আর্টিকেল তোমরা পাবে এবং খুঁজেও পাবে না। মানে প্রবলেমগুলো মানে ইউ উইল নট ইভেন আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড যদি কেউ লিখেও থাকে। তো সেটা সহজ সরল সিম্পল ওয়েতে আমরা কভার করবো ইন দ্য ক্লাস। কিছু ক্লাসেস আমি নেব, কিছু ক্লাস অমর্ত্য বলে আর একজন ট্রেনার আছে সেই কন্টিনিউ করবে, কিছু ক্লাস ইনফ্যাক্ট নিজে নেবে, আরো কিছু এক্সটার্নাল আরো ট্রেনিং নেবে। সো দেয়ার আর মেনি ট্রেনার্স ইন দ্য হোল মডিউল যারা এসে এসে ওয়াইটা কভার করবে। আবার বললাম হাউ কিন্তু আমরা করবো না অন দ্য ক্লাস মাচ, দেখাবো কিন্তু হাউ পার্টে কোনো জায়গায় তোমার বেঁধে যদি যায়, হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ গ্রুপটা এবং আমাদের যে মেন্টার, দোজ আর দ্য পিপল ইউ শুড গো, এবং তারা তোমাদের সাথে বসে দরকার হলে বুঝিয়ে দেবে। ঠিক আছে, সেগুলো আমরা ক্লাসে যে 2 ঘন্টা আমরা দেবো প্রত্যেক উইক, সেখানে আমরা আলোচনা করব যে এই যে জিনিসটা আছে, যে টপিকটা আছে, যে ফিচারটা আছে, এই ফিচারটা কখন কোথায় কিভাবে করতে হয়। তাহলে ক্লিয়ার? এক্সপেকটেশন ক্লিয়ার? যে আমরা ক্লাসে কি করছি, আমরা ক্লাসে ওয়াই এবং হোয়াট কোনটা কখন কিভাবে ব্যবহার করবো সেটা ব্যবহার করছি, কেন ব্যবহার করছি, ওয়াই দা মেন ফোকাস, হাউ টু ডু দ্য থিংস, কিভাবে করব, কিভাবে জিনিস কিভাবে ইমপ্লিমেন্ট করতে হয়, সেটা খুব সহজ স্টাডি থেকে সেটা করে না যায়, তাই জন্য আমরা সেটা ক্লাসে কভার। ঠিক আছে, তার মানে আমরা সবসময় চেষ্টা করব তোমাদের বেনিফিট হবে যত তোমরা এগিয়ে থাকবে ইন দ্য ট্রেল হেড দেন দ্য ক্লাস ইট ইজ মিনিংফুল ফর ইউ। আদারওয়াইজ কি হবে, ক্লাস থেকে গিয়ে আবার যখন তুমি অ্যাকচুয়ালি আবার প্র্যাকটিস করে হ্যান্ডস অন করবে, তখন ওখানে অনেক প্রশ্ন তোমার মাথায় আসবে, সেগুলোর জন্য আবার তোমায় ওয়েট করে থাকতে হবে ফর দ্য নেক্সট ক্লাস, বা আবার মেন্টারের কাছে যেতে হবে, বা মেন্টার সেটা কভার না করতে হলে আবার আমার কাছে আসতে হবে। তো সবসময় ক্লাসের আগে যতটা তোমরা ট্রেল হেডে এগিয়ে থাকতে পারবে সেটা বেনিফিট। যে টপিকটা নিয়ে আমরা ক্লাসে আলোচনা করব সেই টপিকটা যদি তুমি হ্যান্ডস অন করে নিয়ে থাকো, সেটা মেকানিক্যালি করে থাকো, কিছুই বুঝতে পারোনি, জাস্ট যেরকম স্টেপ বাই স্টেপ লেখা আছে এরকমই করেছি, হাতা মাথা বুঝতে পারছি না ব্যাপারটা কি, এই কি করছি কেন করছি সেটা আমরা ক্লাসে কভার করব, কিন্তু কিভাবে করছি আমরা কিন্তু ক্লাসে কভার করছি না, সেটা তোমরা আগে করে তারপর ক্লাসে আসবে, সেটা আমরা এক্সপেক্ট করছি। ঠিক আছে,
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
লেটস নাও গেট ইনটু ট্রেল হেড। তো ট্রেল হেডে এই পার্টটা বং ট্রেল হেড যেটা আমরা কভার করলাম, এই ট্রেল হেডটার লিঙ্কটা আমরা পাঠিয়ে দিয়েছি হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ গ্রুপে। এই লিঙ্কটা তোমাদের শেষ করতে হবে, এটা যত তাড়াতাড়ি তোমরা শেষ করতে পারবে ততটাই বেনিফিশিয়াল। ঠিক আছে, আচ্ছা এটা হচ্ছে অ্যাডমিন ট্রেল। অ্যাডমিন ট্রেলের পরে আসবে ডেভেলপার ট্রেল, দুটো পার্ট আছে। অ্যাডমিন ট্রেলটা আমি কভার করব, ডেভেলপার ট্রেল অনেকজন ট্রেনার থাকবে যারা কভার করবে। অ্যাডমিন ট্রেলে আমরা কি কভার করব, অ্যাডমিন ট্রেলে আমরা কভার করব which is out of box features of Salesforce. Out of box কথাটা বারবার আবার ঘুরে ফিরে আসবে। আউট অফ বক্স কি জিনিস? আউট অফ বক্স মানে Salesforce বাই ডিফল্ট যে ফিচারগুলো আমাদের দিয়ে দিচ্ছে, যে ফিচারগুলো করার জন্য কোনো রকম কোডিং বা প্রোগ্রামিং করতে হয় না, খালি ড্র্যাগ এন্ড ড্রপ করেই আমি যেটা অ্যাচিভ করতে পারবো, যে ফিচার, তার মানে Salesforce এর বাই ডিফল্ট যে ফিচার্স গুলো আছে। কোডিং বা প্রোগ্রামিং করতে হয় তখনই যখন Salesforce এর নিজস্ব আউট অফ বক্স ফিচার সেটা হ্যান্ডেল করতে পারছে, এমন কোনো রিকোয়ারমেন্ট। ঠিক আছে, তাহলে আবার বারবার বলবো আউট অফ বক্স ফিচার্স যখন বলা হবে তার মানে হচ্ছে অ্যাডমিন ফিচার্স বা অ্যাডমিনিস্ট্রেটর ড্র্যাগ এন্ড ড্রপ ফিচার্স দিয়ে আমি যেগুলো ইমপ্লিমেন্ট করতে পারবো সেটাকে আমি আউট অফ বক্স ফিচার্স অফ Salesforce বলবো। ঠিক আছে, মানে আউট অফ বক্স ফিচার্সে কাজ কারা করবে, অ্যাডমিনিস্ট্রেটরস। অ্যাডমিনিস্ট্রেটরস কারা, এটা নিয়ে এবার ডিসকাশন শুরু। Let me share my screen. তোমাদের কোনো ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ অফ চয়েস আছে, বাংলা বা ইংলিশ, হোয়াট এভার ইজ কমফোর্টেবল ফর ইউ, লেট মি নো।
নো স্যার।
তাহলে আমার মনে হয় বাংলাতেই বেটার হবে তোমাদের জন্য।
স্যার বলছি ইংলিশ হলে ভালো হতো, তার কারণ আমরা তো সবকিছু ইংরেজিতেই করব পরে।
ওকে, ভেরি ওয়েল, ইংলিশ মাই ফার্স্ট ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ, দ্যাটস গুড এনাফ। Okay, let's come to Salesforce. What is Salesforce? Salesforce is basically a cloud technology, primarily a CRM product. CRM. What is a CRM? CRM is called Customer Relationship Management Tool. Okay? What is a Customer Relationship Management Tool? Customer Relationship Management Tool means a software or a suite of softwares, multiple software that is required for managing any kind of interaction that is happening with a customer. Now the question is, who is a customer? So I will ask you, what do you think is a customer? And can you explain? Anybody? Give me an option. Like Priyanka or Shoshan. Go ahead and define who is a customer.
Sir, can I give an example?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, if I online order a cap or shoe from Amazon or Flipkart, then I will be the customer of Amazon and Flipkart. This is, sir,
Great.
B2C customer, business to customer.
Great. So there is a seller. That means somebody is selling and there is a buyer. So somebody is purchasing, right? And there can be two kind of business. You have rightly pointed out, business to business or business to customer. If you order from Amazon, that is an individual ordering from another company, right?
Yes, sir.
That is a business to customer, B2C model. Individual is buying from a company. Okay. So who is the customer here? Customer is individual, right? Now in a B2B business, his company is buying from another company. Okay. So who is the customer?
Company is the customer.
Another organization.
Organization or a company. Absolutely. Now, so the buyer, be it a individual or be it a organization or a company. So if a person is buying, that is called B2C business. And if the company is buying, that is called B2B business. Okay. One organization is selling to another organization. Individual is that one organization is selling to a individual. Now both the selling is fine. Who the customer is this? Either the buyer is basically the customer, right?
Yes.
Now, who will need Salesforce? Who will use Salesforce? Is it a buyer or is it a seller?
Seller.
Seller, of course, because seller wants to manage the customer relationship. So seller wants to store the information of the buyers or their customers and then track the activity, what is everything happening with that person, right? So be it a B2B business or B2C business, seller organization is actually the CRM purchaser. They will use Salesforce. Salesforce is the CRM, customer relationship management tool, will be installed in this side. And the data will be stored is basically buyer's information will be stored in CRM. Okay. Where will the buyer and seller buyer's information will be stored? There are two tables. One table is called account. One table is called contact. For B2B business, the account is basically the name of the company. And the contact is basically the name of the employee of that company. It can be CEO also, the owner of the company also. Whoever the selling organization is interacting for or buying or selling, that person, authorized person of this company. Okay, there can be multiple people also, not only one person. Right? So one account can be associated to multiple contacts. When one organization is associated to multiple contacts, we call it one-to-many relationship. 1:n. N stands for any number. Okay, so the relationship between these two tables is one-to-many. That means one row of a table is related to many rows of another table, right? That is one-to-many relationship. Let's see this in action. So my selling org is called Reebok. My buyer, B2B business, is Cognizant. Inside Cognizant, there is a HR manager called Animesh Banerjee. Animesh Banerjee is ordering into Reebok for its marathon for employees. Right? Cognizant is arranging a marathon for its employees. So it is ordering 100 shoes, 100 caps. That is the whole order. So if Reebok is using Salesforce, in that case, the account is Cognizant and Animesh Banerjee is the contact associated to Cognizant. Is it clear now? So how will they store in the table? There is two tables. One is the account table.
Right.
One is a contact table, right?
Yes.
So contact will store first name, last name. So Animesh
ID.
Banerjee, and here there will be name of the company, that is Cognizant, right? So one row is associated to two rows, right? How will you associate it? Every row will have a unique identifier automatically generated by Salesforce, 18 digit, 18 character, in fact, alphanumeric. Every table will have a 18 character unique identifier of the row. So here I will store the account ID. So this 18 character account ID A1, I will store here. And if there are multiple contacts, I will keep on storing it. The same thing, right? That is the reason. That is the way this row is now related to two rows. So this column is called a relationship field or relationship column. Clear so far? Anything confusing? Any confusion? Okay. In Salesforce, the tables are called objects. We will not use the term called table. We'll use the term object. Object is table. No difference. Clear? Table also has rows. In Salesforce, the rows are called records. Records is rows. Rows of the table, right? The whole row of a table. And individual columns of the tables are called fields. Yeah, so we will use these words, okay, from now on. Object is the table, fields is the columns, and record is the rows. Any confusion till now? So we talked about two tables here, two objects. One is called account, one is called contact. Okay, and they are related to one is to many relationship. So account object is related to contact object. It is one to many relationship. Please remember, this is a B2B business we are talking about. What about B2C? In B2C, one contact is related to only one account. Okay, there is no multiple contact. So it is in B2C business, it is 1:1. In B2B business, it is 1:many. Account and contact is 1:1. Clear so far? So far, so good. All these tables, all these objects, which are given automatically by Salesforce, these are called standard objects. Okay. You cannot delete these objects. Okay. Any object or new table, if you want to create, that is called custom object. Clear? So Salesforce gives custom objects can be deleted because it's your object, right? You can easily delete that. Standard objects cannot be deleted. Custom objects can be deleted. Another difference, standard objects will have standard fields. Just like account has a name field, phone field, and other fields, right? Standard fields will be there in standard objects. Standard objects will have many standard fields. We'll see those gradually. Custom objects will have also some standard fields. That means whenever you create a custom object, automatically Salesforce will create some standard fields for you. You cannot delete those. Standard fields cannot be deleted, okay? Not possible to delete. Be it from standard object, be it from custom objects. In standard objects, you can create custom fields. In custom objects, of course, you will create custom fields because that's your table. So you want to do everything. Okay? So please understand this. Standard objects is a table given by Salesforce in which you can add new columns. That means you can create custom fields. It already has some fields which is called standard fields. Custom object is a new table. Whenever you create that new table, immediately some columns are automatically created by Salesforce. This is called standard fields. But you can also create new fields. Of course, you want to create new columns in that table. That's why you are creating that table, right? Any confusion so far?
Sir, one question I have.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, in case of business to business, the relationship between account and contacts is one to many. But in
One to
case
many.
of yes, sir. But in case of business B2C, why the relationship is one to one, sir? I cannot understand.
Because the account is the individual. There is no concept of a separate account, right? There is no organization here. Is the account itself is the individual. So contact and account are the same.
Okay, sir.
In B2B, the account is the company and contact is the individual. But in B2C, account is also individual, contact is also individuals. It is basically the same. So it's a just copy of each other. Okay. We call that person account. We'll discuss this later. That is a type of account. Whenever you configure, automatically it creates a contact behind the scenes. You don't have to create a new contact. Whenever you create a person account, a contact is created behind the scenes. You can only access the account. That is for B2C process. Complicated, don't get there a little. Let's follow the B2B business. Mostly Salesforce is used in B2B situations, most often. So we'll cover B2B first. Okay. So now, important part is that we discussed where to store our customers, like the buyers. In B2B system, we are talking to store the companies in accounts, right? Account is storing the company. Contact is storing the people, employees of this company, right? Or owners of this company, or any contacts of this company, right? Now the next step is the order, right? Or the deal, right? Where are we storing that? That is stored in a conceptual opportunity. That is another table, right? Mainly this stores how much amount, total amount, what is the deal size, right? That is something, is a critical information which we store there. Okay. But what are we making a deal on? Question to you. What is this deal about? Or what is this order about?
That deal means basically it is a contract between two companies which product is when to sell the product and which is the product type.
Product. So selling a product, right? That is the deal. So definitely there is another table called product. Is also a standard object, right? There is a table given by Salesforce itself, which is called product. Just like any table, ID is there, and then there is a name field wherein you can store the product names. In our situation, the shoe and cap are the two products, right, which we are selling. Cognizant is buying from Reebok. So let's go back to that. So in products, I have at least two products, P1 and P2, shoe and cap, right? Two products. Now, if you go to a restaurant or you go to think about a restaurant chain or think about a Reebok showroom, will you, how do you get the price? how will you see the price of that product?
So there is a price book menu card.
Menu card. Menu card, of course, that is a price book menu card. Now the question is, does a product have the same price all over the globe?
No, sir,
No.
it's vary from one place to another place.
So maybe the shoe model is exactly the same, but if I'm selling in India, I will probably have INR price. If I'm selling it in USA, it might be a dollar price.
Yes, sir.
That may not be direct exchange. It can be a different price altogether, right? So if I have different prices for the same product, basically because there are different geographies involved, or even inside a same country, the price can be different, right, from different locations because of variety of reasons. So if I store the price in product table, will that work?
No, sir.
Why?
Sir, the price currency will vary from one country to another country.
That's fine. Let's come back to this question a little later. So what first, another menu card table is also there, which is called price book. Price book is actually menu card. So I have created two price book. Again, it will have a name field and ID field. First name field is India. Second name field is US. Okay. PB1, PB2. There are two tables which I have created. Okay. So price book. Now the actual price of the product. Where will I store? Will I store here or will I store here?
Sir, we will store the price in price book.
Price book. So if I have a price like here, and I say 500 rupees and $50, how will I know this is the price of shoe or cap, or this is the price of shoe or cap?
So there must be relationship column between product and price book. That we can relate the price from which product it is caps and shoes price.
What is the relationship between product and menu? Is it a one-to-one relationship, one-to-many relationship, or many-to-many relationship?
So this is many to many relationship.
What do you mean by many-to-many relationship?
So many to many relationship means in product table one row is associated with more than one row, multiple numbers of rows in price book table, and this side from price book side one row is associated to product side. This is multiple uh, multiple. So one is to n and this side one is to n. So this is many to many, n is to n.
So you are saying this row, one row, first row is associated to this, and this row is also associated to this and this. So here now, if we see this from this side, this is associated to this, and this is associated to this. Similarly, this is associated to this, and this is associated to this. This is what you're talking about?
No, sir, talking about as well as from the product size one to many, and from the price book side is also one row associated to many rows from the product size.
সেটাই তো দেখালাম. That is what I am saying. But that is technical discussion. For shoe and cap, tell me why you say this is a many-to-many relationship. Give me the logical reason, not technical reason. Why do you think this is a many-to-many relationship? What is the point of having a many-to-many? Why you are saying it is a many-to-many relationship? So let's consider the first row. First row called product is called shoe. Is shoe related to India menu card? Is shoe related to India menu card?
Yes, sir.
It is because India menu card has shoes, right? Great. So is shoe related to US menu card?
Yes, sir.
Good. So US also has shoes. That's why it is related to US menu card. Similarly, cap is related to India menu card.
Yes.
It is, right? Similarly, cap is also related to US menu card because cap is also in US menu card and Indian menu card. Right? Now let us see this from the reverse side. Is India menu card associated to shoes and cap?
Yes, sir.
It is, right? It has both shoes and caps inside it. Right?
Yes, sir.
Is US menu card associated to shoes and caps?
Yes.
Yes, right? In US menu card also we will have shoes price and caps price, right?
Yes.
So when I am seeing any row from this side, it is associated to both the rows. And if I'm seeing this from this side, it is also associated to both the rows. That is where if one row is associated to multiple rows this side and one row is associated to multiple rows from this side, then we will call this a many-to-many relationship. That means 1:many relationship from both sides. Okay. Many-to-many relationship is only when there is a 1:many relationship from both sides. That means it will show like this. Okay. Now, many-to-many relationship in Salesforce, we do not directly have a field association between these two tables. For that, we create a third table, and that is called mapping table. How do I write this? It will also have ID and name, just like tables. And every mapping table has a relationship, like so. First relationship product ID, second relationship price book ID, right? So what relation? Shoe cap, shoe cap, right? At least 4 rows will be needed. Why? Because there is a combination, right? Shoe India, cap India, shoe US, cap US. Mapping complete.
Yes, sir.
So now shoe is related to India and US. Similarly, cap is related to India and US. Both sides. Here from the other side, India is related to shoe and cap, and US is related to shoe and cap. So 1:many relationship from both sides. That is the combination we have already got. Now, where do you think the price should go? Where should I store the price? In these 3 tables, which table should store the price? Go ahead.
In price books, sir.
Price book, this one or this one? This table is called price book entry. It should be ideally named as price book product. It may be a child or a 1:many relationship from both sides. That means it is a child of 2 parents. A child of 2 parents is basically a mapping table. Okay, that means it has 2 relationships minimum. Account and contact. Who is the in account and contact relationship? There is only one parent and one child. Account is the parent, contact is the child, because and there is only one relationship. All relationship fields or columns are only there in the child side. Okay, please remember that. Child, your identity card always has your father's name. Father's identity card does not contain child's name, right? So it will always be child who will carry his father's identity with them. So remember the same way. Okay. So here this is the child of 2 parents. Product and price book are both the parents. Where should I store the price? price column should go here, here, or here.
The price book entry. He'll
Why?
store price.
Why? Because if I make a price column here, then I don't know this price which I am putting here belongs to which menu card, right? There is no way to identify that, right? If I put a price beside shoe, I don't know this is the price of which country, India or US. I don't know, right? There is no way of telling that. If I put it here, then I have a price of a menu card, but I don't know which product, right? So this is the only table which tells me which product, which menu card, what price, right? So this is the best place to store price, which has both the information, which product, which price book, what is the price. So price book entry is a critical table, which is not only relating product and price book and product and price book, but it is also storing the price. Okay, please remember this. Similar kind of a thing is the relationship between product and opportunity. Opportunity is also a table. Opportunity also has ID. Product will also have ID. It has a name field. Opportunity will also have a name field. Here also there is shoe and cap. Here I will also have shoe and cap. Sorry, not shoe and cap. Different deals, right? I will name the deal as January order, February order. Two different orders. Now, what is the relationship between these two tables, shoe and cap? Product and opportunity. What do you think is the relationship between this? One to one, one to many, many to many?
Sir, this should be many to many.
Huh? Sorry?
Many to many.
Many to many. Why do you think it's a many to many relationship?
Sir, shoe is associated in January order and February order, and cap is also associated to January order and February order. And in the other side, in January, there is also for shoe order and cap order.
Yeah,
And
absolutely
in
right.
February also there is shoe and cap.
Correct. So in January, I will have both shoe and cap. In February also, I will have both shoe and cap. And shoe is also associated to January and February. Cap is also associated to January and February. So it is a one-to-many relationship from both sides, right? One-to-many relationship from both sides. That means a many-to-many relationship. So when it is a many-to-many relationship, can we do this in Salesforce? How do we do this in Salesforce?
There must be a mapping table, sir, as
Mapping table. Absolutely. So we will come to a mapping table, which is a one-to-many relationship from both sides. Okay, it will have an ID, name again. All table will have an ID and name field. Okay. So now I will tell there is a one called product ID and another is called opportunity ID, right? So here I will say shoe, January, cap, January. Then I will say shoe, February, cap, February, right? So 4 columns, at least 4 rows, right? So relationship established. What is the important field to in a deal or an order? When you place some important order or any order from Amazon or Flipkart, apart from selecting the product, what else do you need to give there? What is a very critical information you need to give there for creating the order?
sir, close date. No,
Close date has No significance. I will tell about close date. When you are giving an order in Flipkart or Amazon, right?
Sir, company
select
name,
a-
sir.
Arey bhai, think about yourself. When you are placing an order in Flipkart or Amazon, where is the company? Do you need a company name? You are an individual at that point, right? There is no individual. So that's fine. Company critical information, I understand. Who is the buyer, that needs to be put there. So that information is there already. When you log in, immediately that company knows that who is the buyer, right? That is not, that information is already there. That is not the important information for creating an order. What is the bare minimum information for creating an order? You have to select a product, right? And anything else? So when I am placing this order, Cognizant is placing an order of 100 shoes and 200 caps, right? So is this table storing all information? That is a critical piece of information. That is the quantity, right? Where will I store the quantity?
Opportunity.
If I store quantity here in January 100, I do not know this quantity is for shoe or cap, right?
Right.
If I put a quantity in product, if I give 100 here, I do not know this is for January quantity or this
Okay.
is for
Thank
February,
you
right?
very much. Right.
So which is the right table to store quantity?
Sir, the mapping table.
Mapping table.
Mhm.
Here I know which shoe, which product, which order, and what is the quantity. Okay. So this table is called opportunity product. Again, it is named after the parents. Okay. Opportunity and product put together. Opportunity product. That is the mapping table, which is not only relating the two mapping in many-to-many relationship, but it is also storing a very critical information called quantity. Okay. These are all standard fields we have discussed so far. Now you tell me the names. What we discussed so far. Which tables did we discuss so far? Which objects?
Sir, account, contact,
Account, contact,
opportunity,
opportunity,
product,
product.
and two mapping tables.
What are the names of the mapping tables?
Opportunity product,
Opportunity product,
price book menu.
price book. Price book is a master table.
Yes, sir. Price book.
Price
Price book
is a parent table. Price book here. If the mapping table you're talking about, price book entry.
entry.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 tables we have discussed so far. Right? Standard tables. Okay. So now let us look at, and these all tables are there in this seller side, right? All these tables are there in CRM, right? Every information is stored in CRM. Cool. So I know now a customer, who is my customer, that means who is the buyer. If it is an organization or individual, I know that. I know what order he has placed. That order contains which products, what is the price of that products, what is the quantity of those products, right? All this relationship, everything is I am managing in Salesforce. Okay, that's the benefit of a application or a CRM product, which stores sales information. Okay, these tables, which is storing Salesforce information, the product of Salesforce, which is storing these tables, is called Sales Cloud. Okay, by default, when we talk about Salesforce, we generally talk about Sales Cloud. Sales Cloud has these standard objects, which we discussed right now. Salesforce also has many other objects, like Service Cloud. What is Service Cloud? Service Cloud is some things which you want to do after the sales is done. Now, still the relationship with the customer will continue even after the sales is done, right? The product is sold, customer has purchased it. Then customer will also call back for complaints, issues, questions, many things. That is also relationship with customer, right? So that is called service. So Salesforce has a different product called Service Cloud to handle post sales. What we are discussing right now is sales. Okay, post sales we'll discuss later in a different class. Let's complete the sales. Before we move on to we complete the sales, there is a very critical piece of information or a table which we need before the sales can actually begin. Imagine yourself as a salesman. You are joining a new organization. How will you start selling? Think that you have joined in Reebok as a salesman. How will you start selling? What will you do? And you are doing corporate sales. That means you sell to Cognizant, TCS, and companies only, B2B sales. Think about that. Okay. Now, how will you strategize? Now you have joined in Reebok and you are now the new salesman for Reebok. How will you sell?
So at first, my job was to knocking the prospective or potential customer door.
Very, very good. Very good. So how will you do that?
So
How
at first I need to collect the event manager or HR manager official phone number from Google.
From Google. Okay, cool. Google is a good idea. So you will see what I will do a search on different kinds of companies whom you can reach out in your locality, right?
Yes, sir.
Then what you will do? There you have got 200 this kind of names of companies. Where will you store? These are the tables which you have found in Salesforce. Can you store in any of these tables? Those 200 company names?
No, sir.
Why?
Because these are the prospective. They may be customer or may not be customer.
Correct. So till now what we have discussed is all about customers. Either they have shown interest in your product and you are trying to sell them, or you have already sold to them, right? This will be the people whom we will call customers. That means you have associated or established a relationship. Who may or may not be your customer is called a lead, right? That means, but you still have to reach out to them to understand whether they are interested or not, right? But you cannot store or mingle that data with your customer data. That is the reason why there is another table called lead in Salesforce. So the first table, after doing Google search, you will load your contact details into lead table. Okay. If any of them show interest, then the lead will automatically get converted into account and a contact and a opportunity. So at a lead will generate one lead row in the lead table. We will generate a account row, a contact row, and an opportunity row into 3 tables if it is qualified. Okay. So this is the first process. Why do we even need to store lead? Is there any, what is the point of storing that? If the customer is not interested, what is the point of storing this information?
Because in sales world, no means not today. It may be tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. So if we
So there is
store
a potential
the
that he has said he has declined today, but he might come back later. Another thing is that you also need to show, because salesman is probably 90% of the time is reaching out to leads and finding out interest. If you are not storing or not showing in the system what are you working on, how many leads are you working on, then your manager will never know what did you work for the whole day. Because out of 10 leads, probably only one person will show interest. That's how sales, when a sales world revolves. 10% is lead converted, always. That is the ratio. So if you reach out to 10 people, only one person will show interest. So this 10 people information you have to store. Otherwise, your manager will never know whom you worked on the whole day. Right? Second part is that the 9 people who rejected you today, maybe you can reach out to them 2 months back, 2 months later. And they, another person might show interest. If you don't store that information, you have again you have to start from new, right? You don't want to do that, right? So that is the reason why sales will start from lead and then it will move to other tables. Okay. Now, whatever we discussed so far is exactly how a salesman will use Salesforce. You are not a salesman. You have come here to learn about Salesforce. So first and foremost, you have to learn what a salesman will use Salesforce for. Otherwise, what is your job? So you have to first become a salesman or understand a salesman's business. Otherwise, you are creating a software for the salesman, right? So first you have to understand how a salesman uses the software. So this is how the salesman uses the software, but you are not salesman. What is your responsibility? Your responsibility is to create things or make changes into the software so that the salesman's job is easier, or whatever he wants to store, he can store. So there are two kinds of users of Salesforce. One is called system administrators who change Salesforce according to the need of the non-system administrators. Non-system administrators can be many types, can be salespeople, can be service people, can be management, etc., etc. These people cannot change Salesforce, but you can. You are actually helping these people do their job. These people will create data and store data in Salesforce. Your work is to change the tables, columns, automations, which is called metadata. What is metadata? Description of data or code or automation. Everything is metadata. So you will work on metadata. These guys will work on data. You can also work on data, but actually you will not create data. You probably will create data when somebody is asking to do some job. Like some salesman wants to update all his record and he can come to you and say, please load my records or update my records. Then you can do that. So probably if you are working on data, you are not actually working on one single data. You are working on bulk data. But these guys will probably work on single data at a time. Very rarely they will work on bulk data. Bulk data means many data together at one shot. Okay. So your primary responsibility is to work on metadata, making changes into Salesforce so that the other non-system administrator can do their job. They don't care about Salesforce. They only want to store their information, customers' information. They want to see customers' information. They want to modify customer information, create customer information, delete customer information. That is the 4 operations they will do: create, edit, create, read, edit, delete. So we call it CRED operation. But your job is far more than just create operations. CRED is always done on tables. Okay. Any questions so far? Overload হয়ে গেছে already? Or should we continue?
স্যার কন্টিনিউ স্যার মেটাডাটা কনসেপ্টটা আর একবার একটু বলুন, ওটা ঠিক বুঝতে পারলাম না।
Metadata means description of data. মানে data of data. Data of data দেখি, description of data. একটা টেবিল বানালাম। এখানে লিখি 98367777, এখানে লিখলাম অনিমেষ ব্যানার্জি @bongbong.com, এখানে লিখলাম বারাসাত, এখানে আর একটা ফোন নাম্বার লিখলাম, এখানে একটা ইমেল আইডি দিলাম, এখানে একটা লোকেশন দিলাম, আর একটা প্যারাচাপা। There are 2 rows. Is this enough information for you to work? Does this table make sense? Is anything missing in this table? If I give you a table like this,
No, sir, this is arranging not data. There should be a column name and
there should be a column name, at least a header column name should be there, right? Why do you need a header column name? What is the purpose of a header column name?
to identify each column record. Now each record, sir, to identify each record.
No. Identifying each record is the name of any identifier. If there is a unique identifier, record 1, record 2, record 3 is enough, right? That is each record identifier. So column is not a record identifier. Why do we need a column? Check this out. Let me give an example. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, sir.
So let's open Excel. Yeah, so I will create a table which is called like this, 9836, or I will say 98367760 or 9875311 nod@gmail.com. Image Banerjee @bongbong.com. And I will create another row similar to that, some other phone number, and this is for Shobhanjit Ghosh. Okay. Can you use this table, or does it make any sense?
No, sir, it doesn't mean any sense because
Why? Why it does not make any sense? This is a table, right? It has rows, it has columns. What is missing here? What is the problem with this kind of a table? First problem is that I do not know the name of the table. So first I will say that, okay, this table is employees of Bongbong. If I say now employees of Bongbong, is it fine? Good enough? Now I have a column like this. Is it fine? Good. So far, so good. Follow. What is the problem with this table?
So কলম নেমটাই তো নেই, কলম নেম না থাকার জন্য আমরা
Why do you need a column? That is the question I'm asking. The column name is header is missing. Column header is missing. That is fine. That is a column name is missing. But why do you need a column name? What is the purpose of a column name?
কোনটা কিসের ডেটা সেটাই বুঝতে পারা যাচ্ছে না কলম নেম।
I do not know which data is for what reason. The reason for this data, purpose of the data, type of this data, nothing is known to me. It's a random set of data which makes no sense, right? So now I am making sense of data. This is a primary phone. This is secondary phone. Primary, না এটা হচ্ছে পার্সোনাল ইমেল, অফিসিয়াল ইমেল, and Aadhaar. Now this is making sense, is it?
Yes, sir.
So this is a description of data, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
What is the description of data? So any description of data is basically metadata. Simple. Description of data is metadata. So non-system administrator will fill up this one. They will create rows like this. But the table, this table, will be created by you. You will say, I will create a PAN field, I will create an Aadhaar field, I will create an official email. And this table will be created by you, managed by you. They will fill up data inside the table. Clear? So your job is to work on the structure of data, that is called metadata. And they will actually fill up the data inside that table or object. So any modification to the table, if I want to rename this to users rather than employees, I want to change personal email to primary email, or I want to insert another GST number here. This is all the changes which you will do on the table as a system administrator, right?
Yes.
This does not affect data inside it. Based on your structure, people will start filling data. Clear? Any questions? When you are inside Trailhead, you can go and create a hands-on org, create a playground. When you create a playground, when it is created, you can launch it from here, and you will get your own free Salesforce. Okay, so this is Salesforce, and you will also be the system administrator. That means you can create data, you can also work on metadata. When you are launching Salesforce, you are launching and you are logged in as a normal user, non-Salesforce user, non-system administrator. Non-system administrator can create data. How can you create data? Let's see how a salesman works. So I will go to Sales app. This is an app launcher. That means similar to your mobile. You will have many apps inside it. Similarly, there are many apps. The first app we will go and talk about today is Sales. Who is using this app? The salesman is using this app. So now you are behaving as a salesman. So what would be my day? I will start with lead. So my first lead is I want to sell to Sushovan. Adhikari, right?
Sarkar, sir.
And Sushovan walks in Bong Bong. Okay, this is my lead. I will talk to Sushovan today. I have got his details from Google. Let's add his details. I got his phone number also from Google or LinkedIn. I have his number. Okay. So what I will do, I can log a call. I called Sushovan. I say called him. He is interested. I am creating an activity. This is another table of Salesforce. So I am logging a history. Called him. He is interested. I can create a task. I can send an email. I can create an event. I can make many activities. I can change the status. Status change can be done from here, or I can do this from here also. So I have started working on this lead. That means I have made a contact with this person. And you see, working contacted has changed. Now, what I want to do, I will either close this and will say this is not converted, he is not interested, or I will go and convert this. Whenever I convert, you see, one account is getting created. This should, I don't know where we came from. The company name got changed. Let's make Bong Bong. Now let's convert. So this is a lead conversion. That means the customer has shown interest. I will now create this as a customer. It will move from lead and get converted into one company. Where this information is coming from this company field. I will convert this lead to a contact now and associate this contact to account, and I will also create a deal. You can optionally stop creating this deal, but if I create the opportunity, I will say Jan order. What? So 3 records in 3 tables are now getting created. Okay. In the lead table, let's see the lead table first. In lead table, I don't see now Sushovan. But if I go to account table, now I can see Bong Bong has been created. If I go to contact, I will see Sushovan Sarkar has been created. If I go to opportunity, I will also see Bong Bong January order has been created. Okay. So if I go to account, this is the parent. You see, account is associated to contact. Account is also associated to opportunity. One-to-many relationship. One account is associated to multiple contacts, like the second contact I'm creating under Sushovan. If I create it inside account, automatically you will see this field is filled up, account name. That means the association is already done. Now I will do Priyanka. Priyanka is now created. I can create a February order also, right? Bong Bong, multiple relationship, right? February order. Page, prospecting, close date. These two are mandatory fields and opportunity. Please remember this. So I have created multiple contacts under account, multiple opportunities. Okay. So let's go to January order. You see, this is whole stage. So you see the lead activity which I did on the lead is now carried over to opportunity. I can take it from there. I can still make a contact. I will go through this stage. And finally, I will add product. Which product I want to sell? You see, I will choose the price book. I have only one price book here. So I will choose standard. I will then add product. This product, this product. This window which I am opening, this has the list price. So this is giving me the results from which table?
The product table.
Which
Product object.
product object has a price?
No, sir. This is a mapping table.
What is the name of the mapping table?
Price book entry.
So this is price book entry. which is basically having the product and the price information, right? So I will add it. And now it is asking for a quantity. This is which table?
Opportunity product.
Opportunity product. Here I will say 10 and 20. I will do save. Now see, two products got added. Basically, two opportunity products got added. They have named it as products. Easier to understand. Okay. And then I will mark this as closed. So if I won the deal, I will mark it as closed won. And that's it. This is the job of a salesman. How he will use Salesforce. Clear? What is your job? Your job is to work in setup. Just like in mobile phone, if you want to change anything, you go to the settings, right? Similarly, in Salesforce also, if you want to make any changes to Salesforce, you have to go to setup. The only people who can work inside setup is system administrator. So this is your office. This is not available to non-system administrators. This one is available to everybody, non-system administrators. The setup is only available to system administrators. Okay. Here I can make changes to Salesforce. How? Here is the object manager tab. Here I can see the account. In account, there is a field and relationship, right? Here the first field tells about which object, second field tells about fields and relationship. You see, so many fields are there. These are all standard fields. If there are any custom fields, it will always have a API name or field name as __C. Okay. You can also create objects. If you see any custom objects, you see there is no custom object. Everything is standard object, right? But if I create a custom object, there is a new object, right? Save. Immediately, you will see there is a field and relationship. There are some fields automatically there. I did not create these fields. It's a new table. Automatically, Salesforce has created some fields for me. I cannot delete these fields. So these are standard fields inside a custom object. Similarly, standard objects also have standard fields. These are standard fields. Now, in a standard field, standard object like account, I can create a custom field. Like, I will use a text box and I will create GST now. Maximum allowed limit of GST is 255 character, or string field is 255 character, text field. I'll just add this. I can make a field required, that means it will become mandatory. I can make this field unique, that means only one row will have one value. Another row cannot have the same value. And what is external ID? We'll discuss that later.
Sir, what about the
Next.
required and
Required means it is mandatory. When I'm creating a account, you will always see the red star here, right? You cannot save this without filling up the data.
okay, sir.
Right? This is called a mandatory field. So if you create a new field and want to make it mandatory like this, then the required field you have to tick. This one. We'll discuss this in detail. There are other ways of doing it, but it is the easiest way. In the field level, if you want to make it required, this will become a mandatory field. Like, let us make it required. And also let us make it unique. What is unique? That means once you have put a value, that value you cannot put in another record. Okay. What are these? We'll discuss this later. Always keep this on and save. So now you will see GST number is now, you see, __C. That means this is a custom field. I have created a custom field inside a standard object. Can I create a custom field in custom object? Of course. I will say application fee. Fee, I will use a currency field. What is a currency field? Currency field is something which you use when you want some amount. That means a application fee. I want to fee. It can be decimal also. Total must be 18 characters. So if I want to make it 2 decimal place, then I have to do this. I can also make it a required field, not making it. Save. So now I have created an application of tab, sorry, application object, which has name field, which is default. This is mandatory. Please remember this. And I have created a underscore C. That means I have created a custom field inside it. Custom object, custom field. Okay. How do I create a relationship between two objects? If I want to make a one-to-many relationship between account and application, how can I do that? All relationship fields are created in the child side. Okay, that means many side. One-to-many relationships, many side. So applications can be many. That means one account can have multiple applications. If that is the case, I have usually these two fields to use. We'll discuss in details what are the difference between these two fields. But I will take lookup relationship and I will relate this to account. And I will store and I will say next. And next and save. So now I have created a new table and I have also made it a one-to-many relationship with account. Now it is a child of account. Okay, so all these changes you are making in metadata. So the system administrator can only make these changes. So now let's see what is happening. Now I will go to account. I will create bong bong. Down below, I will see this is the application. I can now create application. It's a test one, a fee of $30. Since I have created a currency field, that's why this is already creating a rupee sign before that. Okay. There are other field types also which Salesforce gives you. Go and play with it. I will not discuss that individually. But on a nutshell, checkbox is required for yes or no kind of a input. So if you only have true or false, yes or no, then use a checkbox. So binary value, either or. Use currency field just like for any kind of fees or amounts, right? Which has any amount or a figure, dollar, or it has anything to do with money. If only date is required, then use the date. This will give you automatically a calendar to pick from. These are different input boxes. Date time field will give you calendar plus a time checker also. So use this, play with these. Come to me if you have any problems. You have email field to store emails, geolocations to store latitude, longitude, which can be used in maps. Number field, same as currency field. The difference between currency and number field is that number field has only the number part or decimal part, but it does not have the currency type. But currency field has both currency type plus number. So number is just the number part of currency. Number field can be there, so it can be decimal, also 18 characters. So if you use 16 characters before decimal, then you have to do 2 characters after decimal. Percentage is storing percentage values. Phone is for storing phone numbers. Pick list is interesting. Pick list is used for giving you options. What options? Like I will say application source. Okay. Global pick list is something which you can use again and again. But let's use a local pick list. What is a local pick list? I say Facebook, YouTube. These are 2 values or installed. and I'll say next. So this is pick list. Pick list, you can choose only one value out of the many values given there, right? You can also choose pick list multi-select. That means you can choose more than one option. In pick list, you can choose only one option. Pick list multi-select, one option only. Text is text box. Text area and text difference is that in text area you can break the line. That means you can use the enter. You can break the line, separate lines. In text, you cannot break the lines. Text area has a lot more characters to store, and you can also break the lines. Text area rich, you can format the text and break the lines. Format the text means you can make it bold, color that, put images inside it. Text encrypted is masked encryption, so it will be star 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 star. Any very critical information like password and stuff you can store in encrypted. Time is the time part of this date time, and URL is for anything which you see in this URL, right? This is the browser URL. So anything like google.com or this one, this if you want to store like customer's website, if you want to store, then it will be a URL. Anything can be stored in a text box, right? Text box will allow you to any combination of letter or numbers. So what is the point of having these all other fields? Why Salesforce is giving so many fields? You can store everything in text box. Any
Sir,
idea?
if there is some calculations or some formula, so we cannot do any calculations with the text. We only calculate the numbers.
You can do that on text. You have to convert them. There are formulas to convert text into numbers. So this is not a solid reason. Why Salesforce has not given only the text field? And that should be enough, right? What is the point of having so many input fields? Bekar কেটেছে, isn't it? Answer me in the next class. Okay? So go ahead and do your trailheads and